I'm holding court, you standing trial. Why ain't I see you round back when I was down? I'm holding court, you standing trial. Why ain't I see you round back when I was down? They ain't believe in me in the beginning, but wanna hang around now they see me winning. I'm holding court, you standing trial. Why ain't I see you round back when I was down?
Yo, what's up, world? This your boy, Big Court from the Holding Court podcast. You already know what it is. And today's episode is sponsored by none other than the N9ne, the ice cream man himself, Master P, my big brother. He's got this new ice cream, vanilla. I love some ice cream, but this is, I'm telling you, it's rich, it's creamy, it's all of that. It's, you know, this is some next level stuff right here. So y'all go to the grocery store, tell them people, we ain't talking about Baskin Robbins. We need that ice cream man. So, man, go check that out at your local grocery store. What's up, world? Welcome to the Holding Court podcast. You got your boy here, Big Court. We got Producer Ken in the house. What's cracking, man?
You know, it's another day.
Another day, bro.
Chock full of adventure.
Man, it's been an interesting ride thus far, huh, bro?
Yeah, I did. You know what we talk about.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to taper the conversation, tailor it.
Man, we gonna take that shit to the air, bro. You know what I mean? One thing that people, they show up. We love the fans. We appreciate all the support. Everybody showing up. They loving what we doing. They loving our chemistry. They loving the guests that we got. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, today we just gonna rock out. You know what I mean? Because like we always say, bro, we always have great conversations behind closed doors. And we be like, boy, if the world could listen in, you know what I mean?
I mean, that's where it started. I think
that is true.
I think that's like the genesis. You know what I mean? This is 20 years of just talking about this.
Real talk. Now that you say it, bro, you right. Because we just talk about, I mean, mostly music. You know what I'm saying? You coming from Sac, me coming from Kansas City, and of course the kinship musically. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think, I kind of feel like that. I mean, we met, dating myself now, but like, I think we met 20 years ago on TV stuff.
Yeah.
Always talking about music because that's where we came from.
Yeah.
So it always kind of got drugged back. We'd be
Yeah.
doing a film or BTS for a film or whatever else, but it'd always be like, in the in-between moments, we'd be talking about the music stuff.
Real talk. And the funny thing about it, when we met, right, I was doing a little short for you. As an actor, I first moved out here, right?
The lowrider with the curls.
With the lowrider. I had the long hair with the Shirley locks. You know what I'm saying? And this is before, because I noticed that homie in Paid in Full. He had did my little move because I had the glasses with no lens. Remember?
I remember you itching your eye.
And I scratched my eye through the through the lens that wasn't there.
During the shoot.
Doing the shoot, you know what I'm saying? And I had the Shirley locks looking like Snoop and shit.
Man.
Yeah.
I remember that scene more than anything. Obviously, that's the first time you and I had linked up. Mm-hmm. But I also remember that night because we had like all the OG essays. They had brought the lowriders to the thing. Mm-hmm. And we didn't really know them like that. And, you know, I'm new to LA.
Yeah.
So I still, I got the hammer on me.
And
we filming.
Yeah.
And that light, remember the light that almost fell on the car?
I do, yeah.
Big light, 30 feet up in the air, started to come down.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw them ready to go to war across the street as it was coming down towards their car. Yeah. And then I had some crew member came and like scooped it.
I remember that,
and
baby.
Grabbed it.
Yeah.
And then when I talked to you about it, you was like, you had a hammer on
Yeah, man. Because listen, you got to think, bro. When I moved out here to LA, man, almost 20 years ago, man, I was still rough around the edges. Like, I was still a rapper. So when I came to do your shoot, I had on a Dickie suit. Remember, I had on a khaki suit.
Yeah.
But I had a strap on me and one in the car. Because, that's just how we roll. I used to go to audition strapped up, bro.
Yeah.
Like, literally. Big. Yeah. Because I'm like, I'm new out here.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
I've gotten, you already know, I won't say too much, but I've gotten in trouble because I still move around like that. And I've had my run-ins, you know what I mean? I've had my problems because of it. But
you got to be careful out here in LA, bro, because these motherfuckers is dialed in. Like, it's, for these out-of-towners, man, when you come to LA, you think it's Hollywood and all that, man, you got to be careful because that gang shit, and then it's just so much game, so much hustle, so much it's everywhere on so many different levels. You know what I'm saying? And people know people, and you think you in the Valley, you think you in Beverly Hills, you think you in the Hollywood Hills, you think you safe. You really not.
I wasn't, man. I wasn't. I'll be honest. I was. I mean, I grew up in Cali, so and I think it's the same in KC. The
Right.
gang politics is
For sure.
It's LA based,
Right.
I think it starts here,
Right.
and it spreads out. So I don't want to say that we get a watered down version, but but it's thick here.
Yeah, it is somewhat watered down. Yeah.
But well, I don't even want to say that because it was real where I was from too.
In Kansas City, I'm gonna say in terms of the infrastructure, because out here, you have generations of
that's
gang.
right.
You know what I mean? You got the uncle, the auntie, my mama, my daddy, and all them. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Generations where, in Kansas City, it was kind of, we wasn't born into it, it was sworn into it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was. I mean, we're not that far apart. I was born in '81, so we was probably like second generation because
Right.
there's older people than me from my neighborhood. I've never been in a gang, but
Yeah.
the gang existed in my neighborhood. I'm from North Highlands. It was definitely a Crip neighborhood when I was
Yeah.
growing up. There's been different sets there, but predominantly it was like a Crip neighborhood. But coming to LA, I think the thing that was weird for me is Sacramento is really a diverse city. I've been to KC with you, and I know that it's not like that on Prospect.
Right.
But you do have like white boys and Asians and Latinos and everybody living together in Del Paso Heights in Sacramento, which is, that's one of the hoods.
Yeah.
Or in Oak Park or in North Highlands where I'm from. It's real diverse. So coming to LA for me, especially to the Valley, it was crazy to see like the segregation and the gang politics totally different.
Right.
And I was definitely, I had the hammer on me because I was like, I don't understand it out here.
Yeah.
Like I'm just trying to stay safe because I don't understand what's happening out here.
Yeah.
It's super segregated and it's different than where I'm from.
Yeah, it's crazy because my experience coming out here, bruh. Well, for one, I used to come out here in the 80s. So I used to go to Inglewood, but I was a kid. You know what I mean? That was before really having an understanding. But then in the 90s, I used to come out here on some other shit that we ain't going to talk about, right? So I kind of knew the lay of the land
Some
a
things
little
don't
bit.
need to be discussed.
You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So, but then when I moved out here, bruh, for me, it was a culture shock because I moved from Kansas City right to Brentwood.
I remember. I came to the spot.
Man,
Yeah.
So I promise you, bruh, like at night, I remember it being so deafening quiet. So you know what I'm saying? I was like it was crazy. It was eerie almost, and I was like, "Why is it so quiet over here?" You know what I mean? I literally had to adjust.
Were you coming from Prospect?
Nah. I mean, I was coming from, I had moved out the hood prior to me moving to Cali, but it was different. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing when you visit somewhere opposed to when you move there. Visiting is way different. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
So once I lived there, I lived here and I moved to Brentwood, and those in LA know what I mean when I say Brentwood. It's a she high end area. You know. And I mean, I still got braids. I'm still on my court dog rapper shit, And but one thing that I did learn, bruh, it was like you're made to feel your color because it was still very segregated. So we just had white and black. It wasn't really a melting pot like LA.
Yeah.
But one thing that I learned when I came here and I moved to Brentwood, I learned that it was less of a racial thing and more of an economic thing. Because
In LA.
Okay. Because they treated me, it's like they accepted me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they figure you can afford to live over here, so you're one of us. That was kind of the vibe that I got.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you was in the big body. You had the Benz and so you was doing it.
I was doing my thing. You
Yeah,
know what
you
I'm
was
saying?
doing it.
And so I remember this old Jewish lady in my building. She was real nice. She used to literally invite me in for like tea and shit like that. I low key thought she was trying to hit on me, and I mean, she was like 70 something, at the time. She probably dead now, but she was old. I mean, wrinkly too, right? Like, but kind of Judge Judy-ish, but Judge Judy was low key cute. You know what I mean? So she wasn't as cute.
You
as
saying
Judge
Judy could have got it?
Judge Judy it was a sexiness about Judge Judy. You know what I mean? I ain't even gonna lie,
Judy could have got it.
Yeah,
there's a whole other podcast, but I went bowling with Judge Judy.
Really?
Yeah, I was working on. I mean, we talk about TV shit later.
Yeah.
Because that's further down the road.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was messing with a chick, and she worked on Judge Judy.
Yeah.
But we were on the same lot with the Tribune lot, right off of Sunset and the freeway.
Yeah.
That tower that's there.
Yeah.
That's where Judge Judy filmed, and she had a Christmas party, and she was like, "Yeah, come." And we went to the Lucky Strike.
Man.
And like I'm like a couple drinks in, I'm next to Judy, just bowling. You know what I mean?
Is she a little chick?
Yeah.
Yeah, she looked like
she could have got it though.
Yeah,
yeah.
Man, Judge Judy was sexy
Yeah.
to be a old chick. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But
The verdict is in.
Yeah, for sure.
She
You know what I mean?
coulda
And the lady, man, she was just so sweet. She always was really nice to me, you know. So I learned that's what it was about LA. And then when I would go back home, again, you kind of made to feel your color. You know what I'm saying? You know.
You know the crazy part for me, tapping into that same thing. I think now it's 2021. There's all sorts of conversation about race relations and white privilege and everything. And I don't think that I fully understood or maybe I was just too young too, or grasped that concept until I moved to LA. Because I'll tell you what happened. So in Sacramento, white boys are crazy. I'm gonna be honest. Sacramento's crazy. Like anybody who talk about Sacramento, they'll be like, the white dudes out there talk like they black, or they got gold grills and they tatted up. And some of the hitters from these hoods is white guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it'd be white dudes out there putting in work. And people say that about me. Where you from? Louisiana? Why you talk like that? Or they ask.
I tell people when you take your shirt off, bro, because you all tatted up, you look like a Mexican. Like they just got out. You know what I'm saying? I said Mexican. You know what I mean?
But so the thing is like I don't come from the gang. I come from the neighborhood though where it exists. We got Norteños and we got Crips. And then we got the ops, the rival hoods and everything. And you know how it is because you say you never claimed, right? You kind of affiliated. Like my friends is who I grew up with, and some of them is in the gang. So you kind of ducking shots every now and then, or like, oh shit, that ain't for me, but I'm here. You know what I mean? That ain't meant for me, but I'm here. But so everything in Sacramento was cracking, and for me growing up until I was 20, I'm there. I don't really see the difference. I had a close friend, and it ain't all because of this, but I had a close friend who was murdered. I had a bunch of shit going on in Sac, and then I had Leslie, who you knew I was dating at the time. She was like, "What are you doing here? You got all this talent and all these aspirations. Like, and you always talk about going down to LA and making your shit happen. You should just do it." And so I did. Getting to the point though, I moved to LA as a white guy, not from a neighborhood or anything else, and I was just like, I just want to work.
Right.
Instantly, I felt the privilege.
Wow.
Because it's like, yeah, he's a fucking white guy. Let him in.
Wow.
Like, let him in. And I was like, whoa, this is crazy. Because out here, I don't want to say, you say that you're made to feel your color back home, right?
Yeah.
Out here, being white, I instantly understood privilege. Because back home, if you was a white dude from where I'm from, chances are people be like, yeah, he's from the hood though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I went to a junior college out there in the nice area. And I remember one of the professors shitting on the north side. And I'm sitting in the back of the class like, bitch, I'm from fucking, like, as you shitting on it, like, I'm from there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But coming out here, it didn't matter. It was just like, yeah, he's just a white guy.
Wow.
Like, you just blend in.
Yeah.
And that's probably the same back home. I just didn't feel it because of where I was from.
Yeah, and then you moving in a different circle, too. I mean, you had some criminal shit back then, so.
Yeah. No, shit happened.
Yeah.
Shit went down.
So once you realized that, how did that make you feel? Like,
honestly, dude, I see how the advantages and disadvantages in life work, because it's like I could play a new set of cards because I do got this privilege and I could play that set of cards. I hopefully, and you would be a good testament to this because you've been here with the 20 years that I've been here.
Right.
Hopefully, when I play my hand, I'm still cognizant or aware that I'm bringing my people with me. And when I say my people,
yeah,
you know what I mean? But like, if you look around at my crew and the people who work, like, it's my people. You know, they're like,
for sure.
When I say my people, it could be white dudes. It's a lot of black dudes. It's Latinos.
Yeah.
My kids are half Puerto Rican.
Right.
Like I'm still connected to that culture that I come from. But I do realize I could play a different game, which is crazy. That was the crazy part of like, oh, I could play in a whole new.
That's a beautiful thing. And the thing about it is the fact that you have the humility and the intelligence, to see it. Because, you have a lot of, white people that, what? There's no white no, we're all the same.
Or they get defensive.
Yeah, they get defensive.
No, I pulled myself up by my bootstraps.
Right.
It's like, Yeah, but you still got this on your side.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. And that's one thing I always appreciated about you too, bro. I mean, you always kept it 1,000. Like, that's the thing about you basically, you know, and I ain't going to repeat the conversations that we had when you would call me when you was producing the, you know, Housewives and shit. I ain't going to, you know what I'm saying?
Don't blow. No.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But, you know, you knew that, okay, I can get in the door. You know what I'm saying? I can get in the meeting. They gonna put me in position, but what they don't know is who I'm bringing with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you opened the door. You just didn't know the squad was coming.
Exactly.
You ever had someone come to the studio when you was a rapper and you was like, yeah, I booked them, but they brought the whole crew?
Yeah, for sure.
That's what it was.
I used to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you booked me.
Yeah.
You just didn't know I booked the crew.
Man, I remember one time, even with No Limit, we was somewhere in Atlanta. And we was down there for something, and it was just supposed to be P. It was Master P. And I bullshit you not, dude, we was like 100 deep. And I remember they was all on the walkie-talkies like, man, the No Limit soldiers are here. Yeah. And they really like an army. It's like 100 of them.
All in fatigues.
They didn't even know.
Everybody.
They thought it was just going to be P and an assistant. Man,
it don't
like
work
100
like
of
that.
us.
Nah, I think, look, man, I think and I don't want to get too derailed because we got so many other things, but I do think for white folks, stop being defensive. Like, privilege, look, man, you could be low-class white. You could be from the gutter and pull yourself up. Just understand that it's different. It's different levels.
That's it.
It's different levels to it. You don't have to be ashamed of that. You don't have to be ashamed of use it to your advantage.
Use it to your advantage.
Man, I caught a little case. And I, at that point, I was a little older, and I was actually down here. Mm-hmm. I'd already moved from Sac. When I caught a more serious case, and it was one of them moments where I was like, "Ooh, all right, I'm gonna play all these cards," because when they hit
Judge,
Now, when they hit me, and my ex-wife was there, but when they hit me after the arraignment and everything with like the years, I was like, "Oh, we playing this card."
Yeah, fucking right. I played it too.
Yeah,
I'd have played it too.
We playing this card. This is the white card. Does it help? You know what I mean? Could it help? And it did. It totally did. And I won't get into the depths of it, but it worked in my favor. But that's the thing people have to realize. I'm not ashamed that it worked in my favor.
Yeah, for sure.
It is fucked up that it doesn't work in everyone's favor.
You're right, but
because people are good people. Like, people get caught on some bullshit, but genuinely be good people.
Yeah,
I got caught on some bullshit that it was my fault.
Yeah.
On my little shit that I caught, but also like I'm a good person.
Right, for sure.
Most of the time, I'm a good guy. So,
but you know how it would be different if it was me in your situation.
Hell yeah,
they would have railroaded the fuck out of me.
Man, I'm gonna tell you. All right, now I'm gonna say some real shit because we've been around each other's family. I've been around your kids since before some of them were born.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So nephew, your son. There was one point, and I don't even think you realize how poignant it was when I was at your house and you was talking about. He's a good kid. He's a sweet kid. We was talking about how our kids ain't like how we grew up, right?
Yeah, for sure.
He's a sweet kid, but he dressing the part, and you always say you act the part, you might get the role.
Yep. And
it was in the height. This is years ago, but in the height of like young black men getting shot, and I had just started having kids, 2 sons, and it hit me, and I don't think I ever even told you this. We was having this conversation, and you was talking about your son, who's much older than mine, and I was thinking about my kids, and I was like, man. Not only do I feel that privilege is different, but this is my brother, right? Like this is my bro. His kids is like family to me. We done traveled the world internationally together. I got love for Yomi and the fam. And I was like, I don't have to think about my kids the same. Because my kids, even though they're half Puerto Rican, they came out white as shit.
Yeah.
Even though their mom is dark.
Yeah.
And when they go back to the Bronx, their family is black and Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
But my kids is white.
Right.
White presenting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when they run around the park with squirt guns and whatever, I was just like, I was listening to you, this is way back in the day. And I'm listening to you talk. Maybe it was when Tamir Rice got shot or whatever.
Yeah.
And we was just having some sort of conversation and you was relating it to your son. And I was like, damn, that's fucked up. Man. Because you're family to me. And I was like, I don't have to mentally think about that.
Dog.
And that's fucked up.
It's crazy that you just said that because I bullshit you not, and then we'll move on. But just a few days ago, my son will be 21, and my son is on the spectrum. He's autistic.
Yeah.
And but he's higher functioning, what I mean? But if you don't know that there's a deficit, you won't know, what I mean? Because he, so He was walking.
He's been doing PA work for us.
Yeah,
here.
yeah. He's the production assistant.
Yeah, shout out.
What I'm saying?
Shout out, nephew.
Shout out to Courtney the Third. You know what I mean? But literally the other day he walked to Target, and I had thought to myself, I was like, damn, he does it all the time, but just for whatever reason that day, I was like, I don't know if I should let him go because.
Yeah.
You know, he'll be 21. He looks like a regular young black man walking through the suburbs, but certain things he just doesn't understand. You might say something to him and he doesn't catch it. He doesn't understand what you're saying the first time out. And I was like, man, what if the police, you know what I'm saying, stopped him and something was going on? And
he's a little shaky.
Yeah. And they're being aggressive with him and they telling him this and he don't get it. You know what I'm saying? He looks like a young man, but he's just not processing. Yeah. And I almost told him, nah, man, I'll take you.
I'll just drop
you. know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But see, that's fucked up. And I know that about your son because I brought up, and I mentioned to you a while ago that it didn't happen at the time, but when we did the premiere, I went to the restroom and your son was in there and it was like I don't want to say a gang. I don't want to classify people as gang. There was like a gangster dude in the bathroom, right? Mm-hmm. And he was kind of like mean mug. And again, that's nephew. And I have my brother-in-law with me too. Mm-hmm. Cheyenne, big dude.
Yep.
So like we both saw it, and I kind of was like, "Hey man, you good?" To the dude, your son was totally oblivious to the fact that and because you was in the zone and you was out with P in the lobby and you guys was doing your thing, I was like,
I had no idea. Yeah.
Well, my thing is I got you. We family
for sure.
Ain't nothing gonna happen over here. Like we good. So I think it passed because you was busy. You was doing the thing for the movie for the I Got the Hookup too. Mm-hmm. And so it wasn't anything serious because as soon as I said something to dude and Cheyenne standing next to me and everything else, it was like, no, we're good.
Yeah.
But I do know that about your kid because your kid was just like washing his hands.
He's a sweet kid. Yeah. And they didn't grow up like we did.
Nah.
You know, he doesn't know.
But he looked the part, which is why the dude was mugging him.
Exactly.
He came in and he got like nice outfit, nice sneakers.
Yeah.
And so dude was me mugging him, and I was like, "What's up?"
That's crazy. You good, he don't even know this is a young black kid. He might have been my son might have been 18, 19,
maybe
3-4
years ago.
You know what I'm saying? But the mental of on certain areas of a 12-year-old, you ain't even what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's the thing about it, But
that's the crazy part too. Again, I value the relationships I have back home, the experiences. Understanding where I fit into the world, and even the relationships that I've had that are, I consider. I don't take on friends a lot. I don't know how you are, but we've been friends for 20 years.
Yeah,
you one of my newest friends.
Right, real talk.
Real talk. My ex-wife used to say all the time, "You don't like nobody." I was like, "I don't."
Nah, bro.
I don't like people like that. You really have to like. I don't want to say prove yourself.
Yeah.
But like we got it. The dudes around me that here at the studio because we've been in business for a long. I've known him for 18 years.
Yeah.
Shortly after you.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of people in that time between us like, ain't everybody.
I'm going to tell you, bro, one thing, because I've had people ask me, how I've been able to navigate, out here in the streets. And I tell people, man, you have to know the difference between, I know the difference between my street friends, my Hollywood friends, and my real friends. I know the difference. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I know the difference between friends and associates as well, and you keep it in perspective. And then, when it all, within doubt, you always go back to the streets. You know what I'm saying? I don't let motherfuckers know where I live. I don't bring motherfuckers to the house. If you've been to my house and met my family, you're a friend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't give a shit. And it's no shade to nobody else, but, you just keep it how it is, you know? Yeah, you keep it on the level. I give respect freely. That's why I ain't had no problems out here. I ain't had no problems out here in 20 years.
Yeah, I can't say
nothing to mention. Well, no, I have. But
I was gonna say I know.
No,
I know a couple instances.
Yeah, but not nothing related to no.
It ain't real shit.
Yeah,
it ain't like.
Yeah. So, but yeah. You know what I mean?
Nah. Anyway, we just got super deep on some
I know,
That's
right?
how our shit be going though all the time. But
so my thing is coming from Sac, man. Like Sac and Kansas City musically have always we've had this kinship. The Bay and Kansas City, and I have a love-hate relationship with that. You know what I'm saying?
Let's clarify though, because I don't think Sac is the Bay.
No, you're right.
Sac
You're
got
right.
a different
Sac
vibe.
is not the Bay.
Because people fuck that up
You're
all the
right.
time. And they be like,
Yeah.
you a Bay Area dude. I'm like, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm from Sacramento.
Just like I'm from Kansas City, Missouri.
Oh,
not
dude.
Kansas.
Yeah.
You know what
yeah,
I'm
there's
saying?
a
So
big,
it's the
there's a
same
big,
thing.
there's a
It's
drawing,
big
there's a
fucking
line.
difference. If you in Kansas City, Missouri, and you say, man, you can't them fighting words, you know what I'm saying? Motherfucker be ready to take off.
I don't think it's necessarily fighting words because we love the Bay. But
Yeah.
But if you look at, all right, so let's think of the big rappers from Sac, right?
Right.
The top 3 back in the day is going to be Bo, Rated, Lynch.
Yep.
And then today's probably like Mozzy and I don't know what, Lavish D.
Yeah.
Some of the people that
I would probably put Lavish D in there.
Yeah, the people getting notoriety right now.
Yeah.
And there's other, Mozzy has a whole camp full of people to get.
Right.
But like that doesn't sound like E40 and
Absolutely.
and the little, it's not the same.
Sac was always very different musically
Yeah.
than the Bay.
Yeah.
Very different.
So I just draw the line because sometimes I think during the hyphy shit, I think there are Sacramento people. And I think that's why some Sac dudes, and I personally am one of them, to get offended because it's like, I understand the movement. I supported it and loved it.
Yeah.
Because I love, my favorite artist, E40.
Oh yeah.
You know that.
Yeah.
And my second would be Spice. And like I'm above and beyond just Sac dude. I love Sacramento rappers, but I love Bay music.
Right.
But I am from Sacramento. So I try to draw that line like, nah, we
there is a distinction.
We're
I mean,
Sacramento.
because Sac always, it was completely, because Bay was more, if you get into the
it's player.
the nuances,
it's
it's
mob.
more funk. It's more
is.
funk driven. You know,
We was gangbanging.
so listen, exactly.
Yeah.
So this is the thing, like. A lot of people want to debate what the mob sound is, especially in my city, right? I grew up on mob music, so I know what that is. You talking about Mike Mosley, Sam Bostic, K-Lou, Al Eaton. You know, it's heavy bass lines. It's a lot of shit that's really rooted in from funk.
Yeah.
It's all funkadelic. It's all that funk.
You look at
Parliament.
If you look at Drew Down,
right,
and you look at Mac Dre, even back, they playing the Bootsy Collins role,
right?
You know what I mean?
For sure,
it's funky.
Yeah, absolutely. But then,
and I love it. You know,
when you get to Sac was gangbanging,
and they didn't have that in the Bay.
You know,
they
what I'm
weren't.
saying? No,
I mean,
exactly.
maybe today. And let me not speak for the Bay because I don't know everyone. I know that there's sets in the Bay,
but by large, they didn't have Crips and Bloods like Sac did.
But yeah, I'm born in '81.
Yeah,
so my childhood is like early '90s.
Okay,
that's like me.
Right.
It's different for me. Jumping off the porch is something different because again, I didn't. I'm not in the gang. So, but I was in the streets in the early '90s, and there was gangbanging in Sacramento.
Right.
And I would go to the Bay to visit family. My grandmother's from Vallejo, originally born in Vallejo. I had family and friends in the Bay. They didn't have gangs like Sacramento. We was, man, 5th, 6th grade, fools was claiming a set.
Yeah.
People was, I mean, there was a kid who tried to punk me on the basketball court, and we got into like a whole little fight, the whole night. But he was gangbanging. I had on the wrong color apparently. I'm a kid, bro. I'm super. I don't know nothing, man. I'm a mama's son. You know what I mean? Like, and he's like, oh, this is North Highlands Crip, and I'm like, what's that? I don't even know what that is. NWA just come out, bro. Like we just listening to like LA shit. I don't even know, bro. At the time, I'm still listening to what my parents listened to, bro. I'm listening to Prince or my mom listening to Bon Jovi, or you know what I mean?
Bon Jovi was the shit.
Yeah. They listening to Skid Row and
Journey.
Yeah. And so he's like, this is Crip. And I'm like, I don't even know what that is, bro. That people would say I was a rocker kid because I listened to my parents' music.
Right.
Because rap wasn't that prevalent. I didn't grow up. See, the difference is in Sacramento, I don't really, maybe we did. I'm a white guy too, so it's different. But like, I didn't grow up on like early rap. So I don't even have like an affinity. I appreciate it. I have since gone back and listened, but I didn't grow up on like Sugar Hill Gang and all that shit. Yeah, I grew up on Prince, Michael Jackson.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
we
Journey.
were just talking about this on Facebook the other day. Same thing. Like before, because you had Sugar Hill Gang, but you know, I'm in the Midwest. So, again, we understand that the Furious Five and all those Melly Mel, that was prominent up in the East Coast. But when you filter out to the rest of the country, we really didn't get it like that.
Nah, so I wasn't doing Curtis Blow.
So, so we had...
Not even Rakim for me and none of that.
Man, I was listening to Duran Duran and Hall & Oates and shit, and Cyndi Lauper and Culture Club, you know, because that's what we had, you know. But
that was the mainstream. Guns N' Roses.
That was the mainstream.
Whatever was
shit.
mainstream.
And it's even for black folks, you know what I'm saying? Now, of course, in my household, now that's TV. Now in my household, of course, you have Earth, Wind and Fire, Michael Jackson, Alicia Myers, Anita Baker, shit like that. But my taste of rap, once I really got, I remember Run DMC, and I remember Fat Boys.
I remember Run DMC.
They were more
too.
like a novelty.
I remember that because of Aerosmith.
Right.
Because
right.
they did that
crossover. Walk This Way.
They did the crossover.
They did the Walk This Way.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's when I got on Run DMC with the Aerosmith shit.
Yeah. But let's be honest, that's also because MTV wouldn't play black folks.
Exactly.
So like,
exactly.
I'm only watching, and we was poor. We didn't even have MTV, but really, like, you didn't get access to black music if you weren't.
Okay. See, in Kansas City, we had 103. We had KPRS, which was the urban station. So the shit that they was playing in my house, I was hearing on the radio as well, Marvin Gaye and all of that.
Yeah.
But in terms of rap, no.
We probably had it on the radio. I'm just thinking of what I visually saw.
Right.
Like, it wasn't.
Yeah, visually, no. All we saw was Michael Jackson, Prince, and all the shit we named.
And
like,
barely that. They even had their problems.
You gotta think, it was only MTV.
Yeah.
And then you had these little offshoot.
Remember the box?
But that was even in the 90s.
Yeah,
in the 80s, you had these little offshoot video shows that would come and go. Because I remember, then you had Video Soul. But Video Soul was what it is, Video Soul. You know what I mean? So, but I remember Run DMC, and it was like, But when I heard Ice-T, you know what I'm saying? When I heard Squeeze the Trigger, which was probably about 86, 85, I was like, oh, shit, there's something different. That and Ghetto Boys Making Trouble.
Yeah, you know, for me, man, people back home are going to clown me for this, but I just, look. This whole show is about being authentic.
Yeah, authentic.
So I got to be
say
authentic.
what it is. Yeah,
I'm too old to pretend to be something different. For me, and you've probably even heard me say this. For me, I'm listening to what my parents listen to. Mm-hmm. But then there's the offshoot of what they're listening to. My parents wasn't listening to like Guns N' Roses, which to them was left of Bon Jovi. Bon Jovi's real safe hairband rock and roll.
Right.
Axl Rose was different.
Yeah.
He had a fucking alien raping a chick on the cover of his the inside of the Appetite for Destruction album.
He used to be on one.
He was crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, he was out there, and I liked their music because at that time, 5th grade or whatever, you starting to be like, nah, that's what my parents listened to. But it was almost instantaneous for me. I'm listening to that type of rock and roll, which my parents wasn't subscribing to. I had an uncle, my Uncle Jesse, who listened to that Guns N' Roses shit, and I was like, oh yeah, Uncle Jesse always got this like tape.
Is that the one that raised his hand in 3rd grade?
No, that's my mom's brother.
Okay,
he a whole nother story. But anyway, so he's listening to that. Yeah. So when I start paying attention to them, Axl Rose used to rock an NWA hat.
Yeah, yep.
You could go look up, you could Google it.
Him and Eazy was cool, I think.
Him and
was it him and Eazy?
There's pictures of him and Ice Cube. And
okay,
him and Eazy.
Him and Eazy was cool back then.
I think Slash did a song with somebody.
Right.
Anyway,
right.
Axl was on.
Yeah.
Now Axl, he said some fuck shit over the last couple of years that's got him in trouble. I like Guns N' Roses music. I don't know his politics or wherever he's at, but I think he's. I mean, I don't know. I think he's a good dude. I think he said some fuck shit racially that got him in trouble.
Went up on it, yeah.
But I'm listening. This is 80s, 90s shit.
Yeah.
But I remember that for me, the connection to rap, you said it's Ice-T for you. It was NWA for me. And the crazy part is, I know you have your Tupac theory too, where he's not high on your list.
Yeah.
I wasn't a huge NWA fan.
Yeah.
But they were the first connection where I listened to it and I was like, ooh, this is like, now I understand what this kid claiming Crip.
Yeah.
The kid banging on me.
Yeah.
The kid banging on me. I was like, oh, I get it. It's that.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you're imitating that because again, I think there was already a generation of gangbanging happening.
Yeah.
But I got it.
Yeah.
I got it. I was like, oh, okay, I understand. And plus we lived in a poor neighborhood. So I was like, I get it.
Yeah, my introduction into gangbanging was, and I know I said it before, in Kansas City, I'm from the 4 block, which is the 40s, I grew up 2 blocks east of Prospect, Chestnut, and I'm 2nd generation over there. My mother and my aunt grew up in the same house I grew up in. And I just remember, man, when starter coats came out, because I'm a few years older than you. Well, I'm 5 years older than you. So I remember I had my mother bought me a Cardinals jacket, red Cardinals jacket. I'm excited as shit. I'm like, got my starter coat. Man, I'm walking through the neighborhood, man, and this dude, I ain't even gonna say his name because I'm
trying to keep away from names.
No, I'm gonna tell you why I ain't gonna say his name. This is the funny part about it. I just found this out recently, but so I'm gonna tell the story. So I'm walking through the neighborhood, and so he's older than me. He's about 4, 5, 6 years older than me, and he said, "Hey, nigga, you can't be wearing that over here." So I was like, "What?" I'm a little kid. I'm like 12, and he's like, "Yeah, we Crips." So I'm like, "The fuck is a Crip?"
Bro, you was in my boat. What's that?
I was like, what is that? So anyway, man, I go home. I tell my mama, man, I need a new starter coat. Yeah. She's like, why? What's wrong with that? I said, man.
Them shits wasn't cheap either.
Yeah, right. And I'm like, man, we Crips over here. I can't wear this. She's like, what the fuck is a Crip? I'm like, man, hey, such and such said we Crips. Yeah. So that was the first time that I got introduced to what that was. Now, fast forward, I told this story on Facebook just for one of the homies from my hood to hit me and say, hey, that was funny that you said that because that guy, he's a blood now, right?
Oh, he switched?
He switched.
Oh.
He switched.
That's
so I go to his Facebook profile. I was like, damn, like you was super Crip back in the 80s and now
he turned you on to the gangbang.
Dog, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I thought, what happened to we Crips? You know what I'm saying?
Did that. It was early on. It was, you got to give him a pass.
I guess so.
Early.
Maybe he was just like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do this temporary thing with this Crip, see where this take me.
Yeah, what did what our guest say? He was just temporary Cripping.
Yeah, he was temporary. Yeah. Shout out to Breon, said he Crip for a day.
Yeah.
A week. No, it was a week.
Yeah.
But they didn't have no ops.
We had ops. But the funny thing with me, man, is I think as I got older, obviously there was more gang influence and it just became more prominent.
Yeah.
I don't want to say I grew up a square, like here's the thing. I actually was into shit. Because my mom, who you know well, she's young, bro. My mom barely older than you.
She had you, right. Your mother had you like 15, right?
She did. She was 15 years old, living in North Highland. I'm really from North Highlands. Like some people say they from the north side.
Exactly. That's what I say about
my mom was at Highlands High School in North Highlands, living on Largemont and Watt, which is, that's like, that's in the hood. And she was young and out there in the hood. And her and my dad was young too. And they had me. I was born at Kaiser North. Came right back, and we're from an Italian family. Yeah. Crazy Italian family. My grandma was going through shit. She was like, sorry, you wanted to be a grown woman, now go be one. And just gave her the push out the door. So the thing is, like, probably because my mom and dad was lames. Like, they ain't, they both white. My mom's Italian, my dad's a white dude. So they in the hood, but again, it's diverse. Yeah. Sacramento's a diverse area, in North Highlands at the time is diverse too. There used to be a military base that was prominent there. And I think when that shut down, really drove our neighborhood down because all the jobs in that area were gone. Right. So all of a sudden you get like the influx of like low income housing. But dude, I'm really from the north side. I was around it the whole time. I guess I was just blind to it. I was a mama's boy.
Yeah, when you in it, you don't really, you don't see it like that.
Like people talk about North Highlands and they glorify certain areas. So like A Street. That's the equivalent of like the Prospect, right? Right. Watt Avenue, A Street. Right. Like I really lived over there. Like I lived in Omega Court, which is apartments that some of the rappers out there be like, yeah, we slid on Omega Court, or we like I was in there as a kid. You know what I mean? Not knowing anything about politics or whatever else. That's just where we lived. But we was poor. So like I lived in like 30 plus different places. We moved all the time. Wow. Because we get booted. Section 8 would get pulled. You move somewhere. So like everybody who claim a different area, because North Highlands started to break up into like and have their little cliques. But I lived in all of them. I lived in North Highlands. I lived. I guess if like you was going up and down Prospect, you had like the 40s, 50s. Yeah. And I lived in all the. I was on the Green Home side, which was just a side of North Islands. I was off of 8th Street. I lived off of Largemont and Watt.
That's crazy.
We just bounced around. Back in Sac, we have these triplexes. That's like that. We don't really have projects. Sacramento don't got projects.
Right.
We just got apartments.
Right.
Some shitty apartments.
Yeah.
So
projects. Yeah. They turn it to the projects.
The rappers will call it projects. Yeah. But it's apartments. Yeah. It's shitty apartment living. And low income in Section 8, but it's not like LA got like the Nickerson Gardens. Right. The East Coast got, and New Orleans and shit got projects.
They got projects.
Sacramento ain't built like that. We kind of more like the South LA area. It's a lot of houses, front yards.
That's how Kansas City is. Because, I mean, you can come to Kansas City in places like KC, Cleveland, even Chicago. Chicago has its areas of its tenement buildings and all that. But
they used to tore all the projects down in Chicago.
But like the neighborhoods, but you'll come to Kansas City and think, oh, shit, they got how. I grew up in a house with a basement, big house, 3-story, yard, backyard, but it's, just like LA.
It's cracking.
You can get food over there in the 60s in View Park. You go over there thinking these lush yards and these big houses and the palm trees and shit, and you right there in
the
some
most
bullshit.
Notorious, if you think of Sacramento and the shit over the years, what are the neighborhoods you've heard? Garden Block, Oak Park, and those are like suburban residential communities. They houses, 4-bedroom, 2-bath houses, like all those neighborhoods. shitty apartments,
Yeah.
you know, sprinkled in everywhere. But fuck, man, the Garden Block area off of Meadowview is nice now. They built that whole area up. They put a real nice shopping center over there on the other side of the freeway. It's called like the Pocket area, and it's right by the river. And like that shit is nice.
But you know, they gentrifying this shit all up.
Oh yeah,
and
they've been doing that for years.
The crazy thing about it with my childhood, I tell people all the time, bro, I had a beautiful childhood. Like, I'm an only child, so you know, my grandmother was a RN. You know, my mother was educated, so like I grew up like really in the hood, but I had a beautiful childhood. You know, it wasn't really until, you know, the environment is what I had to. I had to adjust to the environment, you know, because even growing up in the faux block, like even before it was the faux block, I was there. You know what I'm saying? And that didn't come until the influx of the LA cats coming down there with their work and, you know, bringing that gang understanding. But to be honest with you, for me, it was really hanging with my older cousin. And he lived out south in the 60s.
That's how it be, man.
Is an older cousin.
That's always how it be.
So
I got an older cousin.
I got an older cousin. So my cousin is the one. I'll be honest with you. Listen, I ain't gonna put the 2 on the 10. My older cousin and his crew, SSP, Southside Posse. Shout out to Southside Posse. Them the motherfuckers introduced me to the gangster shit.
It was tearing shit up.
I ain't even gonna lie. It was them, and I would be.
That ain't even your hood.
No. But it's funny because in the early 90s. Once I hit high school, I was more affiliated with them than even faux block. See, the funny thing about it, I was more affiliated with Southside up until I started becoming more verbal on record representing faux block. Yeah. But in the city, people was like, oh yeah, SSP. And I got in shit in behind being affiliated with them. Like real shit, because them niggas was really putting in work. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I remember I would be with my cousin on the weekend, man, and he would take me around, you know what I'm saying? And I would come back to the hood, to my guys in the hood, and be like, dog, we need to get some guns. Because these motherfuckers crazy. You know what I'm saying? They exposed me to a lot. And I always said that, man, it was Southside Posse that exposed that thing in me I didn't know was there. You know, that I ain't gonna say it was a good thing, but it was there, and they showed me like, oh yeah, nigga, you got that killer instinct too.
That environment is a crazy thing, man, because I would almost agree with you. Yeah. Although my life is a little different. Yeah. I have an interesting childhood because it wasn't sweet. Like I think about it, and I think I have a great childhood because it's full of beautiful memories. Right. Shout out to Mom Dukes, and my pops for what it's worth. Like they did a good job. I cherish those memories, but everybody in my family is going to jail on drugs. Like that's just what it was. Like my uncles, my cousins. My mom's got 2 siblings. An uncle, my Uncle Joe. He's the one that raised his hand.
Raised his hand third.
Always in jail. Yeah. I mean, my Uncle Joe was with the shit. They were the ones that turned me on to the, so the NWA hat's the start of it. Mm-hmm. But then my cousin TJ, who's Latino, because he's got a different set of parents. Mm-hmm. But my cousin TJ and my Uncle Joe, they was on the rap shit, but they're older than me, so they was on the first E40 tapes and the 2 short tapes when they was first coming out. So I'm like, yeah, the NWA hat. And they was like, fuck all that shit. Listen to this, Mailman and the Federal. Yeah. And so that's where I got turned out on NorCal music and became a total fucking snob to where it's just NorCal for me.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, dog. I shout out to my homeboy Franco. Franco, I never forget. He was the one that put me up on the click. First Down and Dirty.
Down and Dirty was
he brought that tape to me. I was probably about 14 maybe. Yeah. He brought that tape to me and I never heard nothing like it. I was like, mind you, I'm NWA, Ghetto Boys. That's, you know what I'm saying? I'm on that South Central Cartel. But when I heard
that's
Click,
like mainstream at the time.
Yeah.
Click wasn't mainstream.
No, man, but it was the music and 40. It was like, oh, shit. I remember I listened to that whole Down and Dirty. I probably knew that whole tape within a week. Man. You know what I mean?
So anyway, to my childhood point, though, like my shit wasn't sweet. My uncle's like in and out of jail. He's like sleeping with chicks that are prostituting. They staying on our couch. We in and out of apartments all the time, getting kicked out of here, moving over here. We moved around so much. I was like, I didn't even have friends. It was like we'd be in the neighborhood, and I start to get to know the kids. And be like, sorry, our shit got pulled. We moving somewhere else.
Damn.
And I go somewhere else. I always went to the same elementary though.
Yeah.
Because North Highlands ain't that big.
Right.
So I'm moving through the different hoods, but I was at Hillsdale, which is across from Highlands High School. So I have my circle of friends there, but I can never hang out with them because I'm always in a different part of town.
Right.
So I think my childhood was sweet at times, but it really wasn't. It, like I think I had like a great upbringing, but shit was tough. You know what I mean? Like we was welfare living.
And especially as a child, it got to be tough for you because you don't have
no consistency.
Yeah, no consistency, and not necessarily
I think children need
a place
consistency.
to you feel like you belong. You know what I'm saying? Where you have your footing.
Yeah.
But it's at least a good thing that you wasn't going from school to school to school. You know what I mean?
No, because we was always in the North area, but I think again for like the how we met, rappers and gang shit and rap music. For me, that was environment too. It was the same cousin. We got cousin stories. My cousin TJ. Now I was real close to my Uncle Joe, but my cousin TJ was with the shit. He's peeling cars. He's stealing people's shit. He's a stick up kid. He's smoking weed. I'm young. This is my mom's cousin. This is my second cousin. My mom's first cousin. And so she would be super ashamed. And she know all this already. But TJ was like, yo, we peeling some cars. You coming with us? Bro, I'm in 5th grade.
Yeah.
He's like, you gonna, grab a tape deck. You remember the old pullouts, the pullouts and shit?
Because you had to learn to not just take the pullout, you had to take the chassis.
And maybe that wasn't TJ who was telling me to do that, but I could tell you what TJ was doing. He was fucking these strippers and shit. And I was young, I'm a kid. I'll go over to my uncle's house, my Uncle Joe's house, and TJ with him. He got this little stripper bitch. He pulling the titties out, showing me the titties and shit. I'm like, I'm a kid, bro. Like, he's firing up the weed, passing it.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, you want to hit this? And I'm, bro, like, it's kids raising kids at this point. Yeah. And so TJ, he's been in and out of prison, and he is on some Latino gang shit. Yeah. So he's in the gang shit. Yeah. But TJ was just like all of a sudden, in my circle of friends, they started to see the difference. Now I'm listening to Bay Area music. I'm listening to gangster music. I'm not everybody back in the day make fun. Oh, Ken was just a rocker kid. Now all of a sudden, I got the big brick cell phones. Yeah. I'm moving little packs here and there. I'm moving packs here and there. We getting into junior high. I'm getting in trouble. I'm starting to carry. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like TJ really turned me out to like, hey.
You know what? I shout out to TJ. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, not really.
But he created Caucasian. You know
oh shit! Now that's a whole different.
You know what? This is the funny thing about it. Now to my cousin, I say his name. He be tripping and shit. We older. You know how I get. So he be acting like a bitch sometimes. Yeah, I said it, nigga. You know what I mean?
I don't even know TJ out right now.
You know what I'm saying?
He might be locked up. Got some money on your books, brother. I don't know where you at.
One thing I can say about my cousin Junior, he didn't do me. He actually tried to protect me in a way. Yeah, because even though he would have me around the shit, he would kind of try to protect me a little bit. And when I say like that, it's like I can remember us getting in a shootout one time, or he knew that it was about to go down. They seen some ops. Yeah. And I remember him literally, like, he was driving, and he literally, I was in the back, and he literally pulled me by my shirt and put me down and held me down.
Oh,
wow. So he was trying to, but he brought me around this shit, now.
Yeah. Now you there.
Right. Now, this is the thing, too. I can remember being around Southside to a large degree to where it was a couple of them wanted to brand me because that's what they do. They brand. And he wasn't having it. He was like, nah, y'all can't do that with him. You know what I'm saying? And I remember specifically him saying, I don't want to hear my mama mouth, and I don't want to hear his mama mouth. You know what I'm saying? Because I was the runt. I was the young. I was a kid. And but he kind of tried to protect me even in that environment. But I was enamored by it. Like I was, you know what I'm saying? I was kind of like,
I was too.
Yeah, it was like, nah, I'm trying to be with it. Like,
man, my cousin TJ was he was a good looking dude.
Same with Junior.
He had money.
With Junior. Yeah.
Look, he's fucking the strippers. Like they was bad. He was going to the strip club. Look. If you've grown up going to strip clubs, you know these bitches ain't going home with everybody. Right. He's coming home with the strippers, and they doing whatever. They showing their little titties to me as a kid in 5th and 6th grade. Like he was just with the shit. Yeah. He had game charisma. The dude got like 12 kids with 12 women. Like he was just on his shit back then, and I was enamored with it. It was like, yo, he got money.
Yeah.
He riding in nice cars. He's smoking his weed. He living the life.
Let me ask you this, and I wonder if you and TJ went through the same growing pain.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, I'm young. I'm 11, 12, 13 years old. You know, Junior is about 3-4 years older than me. So when you're 12 and somebody's, 15, 16, that's a kind of a big gap.
Yeah.
Once I hit probably 15, because I went to jail. So now I'm coming into my own. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now me and him start to clash, because now I'm coming into my own gangster. You know what I'm saying? Now that's where the boy. Did you and TJ go through that?
Nah, I'll be all the way clear with it. It wasn't just him. I was really, really tight with my uncle too, my mom's brother.
Yeah.
I kind of make fun. I take shots at him, and I shouldn't, because we family. Because when I was young, he taught me how to ride a bike and everything else. I love my father. My father just was at work. He was doing whatever.
Yeah.
He was doing whatever he had to do. So I hung out with my uncle and my cousin. I hung out with my uncle probably more at the time. My uncle was also on this shit. He's selling drugs. He's packing pistols. He's stealing cars. And they constantly in and out.
Yeah.
They're going to the branch. That's one of our little jails out there. So they out at the branch. He would send me letters with his, put money on my books. They have his name and his number. And he would circle the name. He'd be like, Sean Thomas, Bo's in here.
Yeah.
See Bo. Right, because he knew rap shit.
Right.
Sebo at the time's OG, but I'm still young.
Yeah,
he's circling names. I don't even know him. He's like, "Yo, Bo, write down the." Like he's sending me the papers. I think I might still have it in a box at home. But like he was, he was with the shit.
Yeah.
No one in my family was moving big, like not moving big weight. No big gangsters. Like I don't even want to put the 2 on the 10.
Yeah, yeah.
Like we wasn't built. Like my family wasn't that. They was just involved in shit because they're from the
trying to make it.
Trying to make it. We didn't clash though, and I'll tell you why. They couldn't stay out of prison and jail. So when I started to come into my own, they was gone. Like I think my uncle did maybe like a 3 or 4 year bid on top of another 3 or 4 year. And same with TJ. They would just be out. And they'd be like, man, he gone. For the next 4 or 5 years, he's just out. And I'd go see him and shit. My uncle got married in jail. All that hood shit. He married his chick in jail.
Yeah.
Like all that regular old hood shit. But we never clashed because they was moving with a little bit of an older circle, and then that whole circle ended up either getting shot, going to jail, doing whatever. And then I started to come into my own around people kind of my age.
Right.
And they was all the ones doing dirt. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay. Oh,
yeah, kind of me too.
This is my crew now.
Yeah, for sure.
And this is how we rock. But I still, man, I've said it so many times. I was never trying to be that hard, and I was never really trying to be in a gang. H Wood is my big bro. Yeah, I always claim him. He'll clown on me, and I'll say it right now today, so it doesn't get said for the first time some other time. Yeah. Remember when Boyz II Men and LL Cool J did that little rap song? Boyz II Men sang, and LL Cool J did the verse. Yeah, Hey Lover.
Yeah.
Man, my first little rap that I wrote was on some Hey Lover shit. And I recorded it at H Woods, and he threatened me all the time. He'd be like, oh, you think you so hard, I'm going to drop that.
You was on some I Need Love shit.
Well, nah, look, the girl Leslie, who you met, she was dating some dude. And I thought he was a sucker. I was trying to hit. I thought he was a sucker. So I wrote a little song. Okay. Because that's what I was doing at the time.
So you thought he was a sucker, and you wrote a song to Cupcake to her.
Yeah. But saying that he's a sucker. Like, and then and it worked, bro. Yeah. Like, it worked.
Oh, but you got her with the song.
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
I did.
Okay.
But H Wood threatened me all the time. Oh, you so gangster. I'm going to drop that song. I'm like, man, big bro.
I had to hit H Wood. He got the master to that shit.
he got the ADAT and everything. But actually, what's funny is when I started rap, before the Cupcake song, we was on the LA banging on wax shit. Dudes in my neighborhood was only rapping that gangster shit. There was, something at the dead light, at the dead side. Everything was dead instead of red. It was all Crip dudes rapping. And so, like, I caught myself out of pocket rapping on some banging on wax shit. But that wasn't my lane, so it didn't feel authentic.
Yeah, right.
It didn't feel authentic to me. But that's like the first time you would hear me rap.
But you know what, man?
And junior high probably was that.
You know, and me and you laugh about this, and maybe there's some discrepancies, you know. But I'll say it.
Also, fuck you, actually.
You
Always try to bring out my love side.
Hey, man, I really was never. I don't consider myself ever. I've never said it that I was an active gangbanger. I was affiliated.
Yeah.
But never did I claim, you know, was I pushing that line. Now, have I done some shit that could be misconstrued with maybe pushing the line?
I mean, I know of some shit.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
Maybe, but it wasn't really fighting on that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Because again, even I don't know why people from Kansas City court dog,
Crippin' ass court.
Crippin' ass court.
I know KC people,
right?
And they be like, "Oh, you hang out with Crippin' ass court."
Crippin' ass court. I'm like, that's what they call me. Like
you been branded. You got branded even though they didn't want.
Ass court. And the thing is I publicly said, no, I just affiliated. I ain't never been a gangbanger. You know what I mean? So I never tried to put the 2 on 10 with my gangster. Like I done done some gangster shit, but it was rooted in some other shit, not really rooted in gangbanging. You know what I mean?
I mean, look, man. I say that I ain't with the shit with all of that, but I have some demos that got put. You know, you have.
Oh yeah, you in the environment and you active. You gonna be forced.
There's been shit to jump
try
off.
you and test you. Yeah.
Look, I got North Day homies. I got Crip homies. We've been ran up on before, and I ain't running.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, all right, well, this is what it is. We in the environment. You know what I mean? I know what it is.
It's so funny, bro, because sometimes I think back to, you know, probably with you, at least myself. I mean, I came from a good family. You know, I was raised on love, not survival.
Same.
You know what I mean? And, you know, I always wonder sometimes if I was in a different environment, how that would have shaped my personality. Man. You know what I'm saying? And what I probably would have become or got into, you know, because a lot of things, you know, I was a good kid, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't you know, you got some kids that, you know, there's some little kids that I see and I'm like, oh yeah, that motherfucker going to jail. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
You know, he's 5, 6 years old. Yeah,
acting bad.
To jail,
That's
you know?
bad parenting though, man.
It is.
That's bad parenting.
It is.
Because
you
kids
know?
I don't know, man.
You know, but I went to school with some kids that was bad and, you know, dealing with different things at home or whatever the case may be. But I think it's just funny how the environment can shape so much because I became reactive to the shit around me. Like I can be 100. You know, I'm securing myself as a man. I'm securing the gangster shit and street cred don't mean shit to me at this stage of the game. That means nothing. You know, I can't take it to the bank. I can't do anything with it. So, but you know, I can honestly say I was more reactive in things. Like I can't say 100%. That when I was 10, 11 years old that I just thought that, oh yeah, I just want to fight and I want to shoot and I want to. I'm riding bikes. I'm a regular kid. You know what I'm saying? But then when you start seeing shit happen around,
hitting the jumps,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, I'm wanting to play in the NBA. But then when I start seeing, oh damn, they killed the homie Jermaine over a bottle of cologne. Oh shit, they jacked homeboy, killed him for his Jordans. Oh shit. Oh, you know, and it's like, they jumped him, and I'm like, oh fuck that, you know what I'm saying?
No, yeah,
and
we're gonna be safe.
Yeah,
I used to have. My first car was an old school Camaro, 1980 Camaro. Yeah. Oh, it was old school. But it had the 2 seats and the seats full forward, right? Mm-hmm. I used to keep a 380. I'm talking like 15 learner's permit driver.
380, yeah.
Yeah, I used to have a little 380 and with a seat full. There was a switch from the driver's seat. You could hit the thing. The seat was full forward. Mm-hmm. And that was my little stash spot. I mean, dude, I had that shit from from day one. All reactive though, because people was getting shot. Yeah, man. I got so many friends that was getting popped, and we had a couple of situations. And people know this is like public record shit. We had shit. I mean, our school. I went to Foothill, so you have Highlands and Foothill, all in kind of like the north area. Foothill's technically Foothill Farms, but. Mm-hmm. Bro, you walk a block over, it's North Highlands. Yeah. So again, we moved a lot. I ended up moving to like the Foothill Farm side. Yeah. You walk 2 blocks up to Hillsdale. Yeah. And you're at like Ernie's Liquor, and that's the liquor. You know the liquor stores in the hoods where shit crack, like Ernie's and Steve's and all these places in Sac. That's 2 blocks from Foothill High School, which is weird because you go up and then over a couple more blocks and you're at the next high school, Highlands. And our school wasn't even set up where we had like a football. We had to play at Highlands football stadium. We didn't even have our own football field or any of that shit. So very closely connected. But we had situations where like over gangbang shit, we had a dude, Richard Simpson. He had got shot at the corner of our school. This is like, we was freshmen, but people was getting popped on some gangbang shit. Mm-hmm. So when I got that Camaro, man, I was, because I'm moving around the town. Yeah. I'm like, bro, they popped
For sure.
They popped homie at the school. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Dog.
we had people pull up. Me and I got two really close friends from back home. The R.S. Mendez brothers are twins. And you know, I wouldn't say they were gangbanging either, but they were affiliated with some Norte shit. But like, man, after school, got pulled up by some of the ops pulled up.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you talking all that shit at the mall? It's like it's cracking out here, bro. So I'm staying reactive with the heat. Like, I'm not gonna get caught.
Man, listen.
If they pulling up, I got to be able to match whatever intensity they gonna come with.
No, absolutely.
You know what I mean? I got to be able to match.
I'm curious. What was your first strap? How old
The
was
380.
you?
The 380, and I got it from this.
How old were you?
15,
Okay.
14, 15.
Okay.
It was right before I was driving.
What was it, a Phoenix Arms or a Lorcan?
Oh man, I don't even remember the brand because I was so illiterate to guns at the time. But it was a little 380 that had the little hook on the clip that
Okay.
like
Yeah.
the little.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. With the little pinky thing that you could.
Yeah,
put
it's
your
the little
pinky on
pinky
it.
thing.
Yeah.
But I
Probably a
remember,
Lorcan. Yeah.
I remember. Shout out to my homie Playboy Will, and that was my rap partner. That was my rap partner too. But Will and then one of my close friends, Jason, they had an apartment. And I don't want to speak too much on it, but you know, people was hitting licks.
Yeah.
And so like they had some straps. They had hit some licks and they had some straps. And I remember they just had so many, and I was like, oh, I like this little one because it was easy to tuck.
Yeah.
And then my friend Jason, he was like, take it.
Yeah.
He was a big weed head. He sold a lot of weed. He's like,
Yeah.
take it, bro. No, man, you know what I mean? He hit me. If anybody knows Jason from back home, they know his voice. Take it. It's all good.
Yeah.
Take it. And he's just laughing and whatever else, but he had plenty.
Man, my first, believe it or not, bruh, my first gun was a single shot 12 gauge.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like in a fucking.
Yeah, it was this big. It was lit. That was my first gun. I used to keep it in my starter coat.
Man,
And
I went from the 380. I do know my sec. I know the brand because I had a high power Browning 9mm.
Yeah.
Had that bitch all the way up until I met you.
Yeah,
Still,
because I was trying to get that Browning from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you was looking at the 1911.
Yeah.
That's the one you.
It
really,
was. I wanted both of them.
and the Beretta.
And
Yeah.
Which I got the Beretta from you.
You did. Well,
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: that Browning, bro. I had that Browning since I was like 16.
Yeah. Damn.
I think about it though. Here's the crazy part. I talk about my youth and trying to grow up and all that, bro. I moved here before I was 21 or when I turned 21.
Yeah.
So when you met me and I had it, I act like that's a long time ago. But when you met me, that had only been a 4-year-old gun. I mean, I'm not. I
right.
was still young.
Right.
When I came out, you was in your 20s.
Yeah, I was 26, 25, 26 when I moved out here.
And I was 20, 21.
Yeah.
Like I was young still because I talk about all shit like, oh, I had this forever. 16 was 4 years ago, bro.
Oh,
like,
damn, when you put it in perspective like that.
Yeah.
So I wanna transition a little bit into, I mean, because you know, me and you always have a deep conversation about music.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Music. And I want to circle back to what I said, a love-hate relationship with the Bay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know, I grew up on Bay music. I love Bay music. That's the love.
I love
You
it.
know what I'm saying? 40, Spice One, as everybody know, is my favorite number one rapper.
He's in my top 5.
You know what I'm saying? But man, my city, Kansas City, Missouri. Oh my God.
Which I love, KC.
Yeah,
Shout out,
I love
shout out
K.
to
I love my city, but musically, I want us to get the fuck away from the Bay. I want, you know, it's funny because I've had to, you know, articulate this to some of my friends from the Bay because they see me on social media go hard, and I say, listen, this is just me cleaning my own house.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with y'all. I love y'all. But we need to get away from that shit. We need to get our own fucking identity. And we need, and it goes deeper than that. Because even when you get into the politics, even when you get into, you know, I think that, and I don't want to be the type to you know, because sometimes you can correct people in private and then you correct, you know, it looks away when you do it in public in front of people. But, you know, but this is the way to get the narrative. I just want to change the narrative and the mentality and approach of my city that I care about, you know. And musically, I'm like, bruh, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the Bay cats, man, they come to the city and they bleed it dry. You know, they don't, you know what I'm saying? They don't reciprocate. You can't go out to their city. And a lot of these artists from the Bay be regional cats. They don't even really be cracking like that. It's just that they, you know, KC, they'll worship them so much. And you paying them for shows, you paying them for verses. They come and they only doing what they should be doing.
Yeah.
So it's not even on them. You know what I mean? But it's like, you know, I just be wanting my city to really get its own identity. and get up off the base shit so much. You know what I mean? And
I'm
that's my love-hate with it.
I'm wondering though. So entertain me for a second. I'm
Yeah.
wondering if you have the love-hate, because when I think of KC and the sound, I shouldn't limit it to just tech.
Yeah.
I think a lot of tech
Right.
comes when I hear KC. Tech comes to my head a
Right.
lot. I'm super close friends with Chris Calico.
Yeah.
That's the homie. Like,
Yeah, shout out to Chris.
Yeah, he like family. I'll be honest, and I've told Chris this. I knew Tech clearly way before him.
Right.
Because Tech was doing shit with Yuck and
Right.
they had the regime and shit.
Right.
I probably got put on to Chris almost like right before and I've known him for over 10 years or what, but it was almost like right before I met him.
Yeah.
I actually had a guy out here, Anthony, who was like, man, this Chris Calico. And it was his first album. So I did get put on to his first album. But he was secondary to me. He is a KC sound now when I think of it.
Right.
But I think of Tech, and Tech is unique.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
so my question to you though is, do you have the love-hate? Because I feel like when you talk about the Bay, and you also include NorCal, which is
Yeah,
Sac,
for sure.
we just have a lot of artists who have popped.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
on top of that, you're talking about a huge fucking region.
Yeah.
You're talking, because the Bay is like you're talking about Frisco,
For sure.
Richmond, Oakland,
all of that.
because that's way larger than the
Yeah.
Kansas City
Yeah.
footprint, right?
Yeah.
All the way out to Sac.
Right.
So like, because KC has had people who have popped, it's just not. It's a small region, especially if you're gonna go like you draw that line, right? If you're gonna go
Yeah.
KC in Missouri,
Yeah.
then you only got like the Rich, the Fat Tones.
But see, that's what I'm saying, bruh. Like, no disrespect to those guys. Because, mind you, I'm a part of that.
Yeah, you came from that.
I came
I mean, I
from
knew
that.
your shit. When I met you, I already knew who you was.
If you look
from
at
Murder
all
Dog.
my old CCG and Court Dog albums, they were fucking mob albums.
Yeah.
So I come from that. I think what it is if I can just say it, you know what I'm saying, without it sounding fucked up, but it just is what it is. I think they emulate it to a fault. You know what I mean? Because let's face it, right? I love the Bay, but the sound is different now. The sound is
Yeah.
different. You know what I mean? And I think that because we haven't had a moment yet, Kansas City, I'm like, okay, y'all are still following something that is, you know, I don't want to say done, but the Bay had its moment. It had its moment to shine, as every region does. Okay, let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go. You know what I'm saying? But you're so, you know, ingrained in it. And I'll be honest with you, it when I see certain rappers from the city and they always talking about, from KC to the Bay, I just want to fucking just tell them, let it the fuck go. You know?
I feel like Sac had two moments because we
Yeah.
had that sickness
Right.
and all the rap that came out of that, and then we have the new era moment
Right.
that's happening right because I was in KC with you just a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And they was slapping that Mozzy everywhere
That's
I
what
went.
I'm saying, bro.
Everywhere I went.
And
now
again,
I fuck with Mozzy. I
and
like his music.
I want people to, especially the Bay rappers and the Sac rappers. This ain't nothing against them. They're great. I grew up on them. I fuck with them. Mozzy's dope, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking about my own house, and even with my own house, this is not to shit on them. It's just to push them.
You just want to see a movie.
I want to see them win.
Yeah.
You know, so my thing is let that go. I'd rather see you emulate Atlanta. I'd rather see you either find your own sound or emulate what the fuck is going on now.
I get what you're
rather
saying
that.
because here's the thing. I can hear a Sacramento rapper from like 10 miles away. I'd be like, that's some Sacramento
For sure,
shit.
for sure.
And some Bay shit. And now there are new movements like Dallas. Dallas got
Exactly.
a sound with Yellow
Exactly.
Beezy with Mo3,
For sure.
which I was really like listening. Louisiana got a sound.
Louisiana
Baton
got a
Rouge,
sound.
New
Exactly.
Orleans, Atlanta got a sound.
Exactly. Now, if you want to be 100, yes, I can hear Baton Rouge. I know it because of the slang.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the, you know, the way they articulate things. But to be honest with you, when you talk about, you know, Dallas and Baton Rouge and all that, it's still a Southern sound.
Yeah.
It's a Southern sound.
Well, to me,
terms of
Dallas
music.
is like they. All right, so Chicago had the drill movement.
Right.
Dallas to me sounds like a Southern drill movement. It got that Southern sound, but it's drill. Like I would say Mo3 and Yellow Beezy and them was kind of part of that drill.
So
movement.
now we identify what's drill. Because to me, drill is more, you know, it's darker. It's darker. You know what I mean? And the way the beats are, it's a different bounce. It's a different vibe. You know what I mean? Because whereas when you talk about the South, you talk about Atlanta, you know, now you're talking about no matter what you're talking about, you can bounce
a
to,
snap.
vibe to. Yeah, even with Ride Wave, he be singing and all that shit just like Mo3, but you can still, that nigga be singing some depressive shit and everybody rocking it because the energy's there. Where drill is a little, it's like how Sack in the Bay was.
Yeah,
Sack
it's a little more gangster.
It's gangster.
But I think that Dallas shit was a little more gangster. I mean, Mo3 got caught up on some gangster shit.
I mean, yeah, he did, but he didn't get killed in behind no gangster shit. But you know, he got that was in behind a bitch. Like that was some.
I don't know the specifics of it.
Yeah, that was that was some tender dick shit. Yeah.
Here's what I'm extracting though.
Yeah.
You want KC to have a movement. These other places are having movement.
Yes.
You just I get that. I understand.
Yeah.
I come from a different perspective because I grew up. And I'm a horrible rapper. I'm gonna be honest. I never liked my own shit, right? Yeah. But I'm part of it.
Yeah.
Like I am like me, low key. Spice One came. We was doing Bay Area compilations. I put out when I started feeling like I don't really like rapping myself. I rapped in junior high because I'm in the neighborhood,
right? And
people's doing beats on the table and on the lunch table, and we rapping. I had a homie who's gone now, but Junebug, like that was my homie. We rapped together. It's my rap partner. You know what I mean? I hung out with his older cousin Jay Booty, and like I rap with him, and I have my other dudes, and it was just, to me, I was always like an artistic kid,
right? And
so rap was an outlet. Like I understood as soon as someone's making a beat, I could fall into them pockets. And I could rhyme really quick and think really quick.
Yeah.
So like it was fun. And people would say, like, even Junebug back then, he was one of the first people to bless me and was like, you dope.
Yeah.
I think you're dope. He's a street dude. He was like a real street dude. So to get blessed by him, I was like, oh shit, maybe I should do something with this. And then I started doing shit at my bro's house. I did a bunch of like regular tapes. I did the love song. Everybody know that. And then I started doing, what we was really doing out there was all the street shit. I just never, like, I listened to my shit and other people would big me up. I just was like, this ain't really this ain't really my lane. But then I had another homie who's gone now, rest in peace, BP, one of my close friends. But like, I was like, hey man, I'm gonna take all the shit I've been doing and I'm just gonna executive produce your shit.
Yeah.
Cause I was just trying to get to the money anyway. The whole time to me it was like, I'm just trying to get to the money. But to the point, I'm proud because I grew up in the movement.
Right.
Like when Sacramento was having this movement, we were doing it. Like we weren't the hot people. Let's be very clear. X-Rated, killing it. Bo,
for sure.
Killing it. West Coast Mafia, killing it. Sick Made, killing it.
Yeah.
Set. We was on the outskirts of that.
Yeah.
But we was affiliated with all of them.
Right.
Everybody was falling through to the studio. And then from my region, from the north side, we had Hollow Tip and dudes who was really putting on too for our neighborhood. And Hollow was he did most of his records at H Wood's house.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it was like I have the opposite moment because you searching for that sense of pride. And I kind of lived through it.
And see, that's what I'm saying.
I lived through
it. And that's kind of what me and X-Rated and you were talking about. That's what I want. Like, cause I know KC. I ruffle feathers cause it's tough love. You know what I mean? Because I've seen the other side of it. I know what the success really looks like.
Yeah.
And so listen, we had, of course, N9ne. He's
on an island.
To me, he's the only one when you talk about success. I'm talking about a real career. I'm not talking about just necessarily regional or had a song here. We have a bunch of that.
Like
don't get me wrong. We got a lot of talent, and we've had people that have gave it a good effort. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Rich the Factor has done his thing.
I like Rich.
Of course, we had Fat Tone had a moment. But that's local. Fat Tone only, he only got that notoriety for all the wrong reasons, but if you talk about musically, it was local, let's call it what it is, you know what I'm saying? So, Rich, regional, you know what I mean? And in different pockets or whatever, but then even with Rich, that's a lot, that's Bay. See, I look at that as it's the Bay, you know what I mean? So when you talk about a movement, we haven't had it, but like I said, we have cats like Brandocious, we have Marley Young, we got guys down there, we got D-Walk, we got Royce J, Who else we got?
Yeah, Young Cat, right?
We got Young Cat. Yeah, shout out to Young Cat.
I think he signed to Bo now.
No, he just cool with Bo.
Oh,
But no,
I saw Bo promote.
Yeah, he do a lot with Bo. We got Young Cat. You know, we have so much talent down there. Even Young Boss. But you know, I want to see the youngsters. You know what I'm saying? I really want to see them have a movement like Baton Rouge. Like, I don't care what that is. I just know emulating the rappers from the 90s and the early 2000s is not going to get you there.
Look, man, I got an ear for that because I grew up in it and I love it. And I feel I feel honored, especially as a white dude coming from where I come from. Like when you talk about the Sac shit and even like Mac Dre, who was living in Sac, man, he was like, we would run into him at like, we was recording some of our shit over with Hollis, Big Hollis, and Dre was doing his shit over there. So it's like, like I feel privileged that like when people talk to me about what was your experience in rap, kind of like you had this great moment because of your No Limit connection, right? Which we should get into, right? Like you're like I was part of it. I listened about it before About It came out and told P, I don't know about this.
I told him
I have
shit.
I have the same feelings because when I think of like coming up in rap, people idolize Mac Dre. They idolize some of these like X-rateds. I was dating a girl named Jennifer, and her stepdad was like Ced's right-hand man. I'll go to the black market offices with him. His name was Clyde. And he'd be like, man, this is during Exorcist. I'm not talking about the late shit. I'm talking about during Exorcist. I was in the black market office and during Unforgiven, where they was doing like, hey, this is how, I was still in school. Take this stack of these orange X-rated stickers to the school and just put people up on it.
X-rated.
And at the time, I was trying to get signed. I was trying to do all the shit young rappers do. So I'm just in there trying to impress Ced and all these other people like, man, maybe they'll give me some money if I pass out these stickers and do all this extra shit. But I was, there's not a lot of people that can say like I was in it.
Yeah, man. But Sac, y'all had a beautiful moment. I mean, I grew up on it. I grew up with it. You know what I'm saying? I should say. And that's the only thing I want for KC. Again, man, it's love. What it is I know, even for myself, I hold myself to the same standard, bro. Like even with us and our No Limit thing, we did what we did with CCG. I did what I did as Court Dog. But even myself, I even fell short of what I feel like I want to see us do. I'm in that too.
But you got some gold and platinum plaques,
That's true.
You got some accolades.
No, that's
You're the
true.
first person
that's
in KC.
True. But guess what? That was just a moment. See, that's the thing. It was just a moment. It was a Courtney moment, a Court Dog moment, a CCG moment. I'm talking about us as a collective. You know what I mean?
Having a
movement to where like Houston, like LA, like the Bay, like Chicago.
Put a bunch of people on.
Where it's just because you from the city, motherfuckers is fucking with you. Think about it with Chicago.
Hell yeah.
You from Chicago? Oh yeah, we fucking with it. At a time, you fucking with Sac. You from Sac? Oh yeah, we fucking with it. You from LA? Oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want because we have the talent. I think that we just have to tweak our approach and really just get out of that bubble. It's a bubble in Kansas City. It's like they get so caught up in the local shit to where they don't see the bigger picture. And see, I try to be that beacon of light because I've been in LA. My homeboy, one of my best friends is Master P. So I've seen the other side. So I try to bring it to him like, bruh, hey, you know what I'm saying?
Doing this.
Hey, but so all I can do is keep trying to get a message.
Yeah, no, I hear you. It's
shout out to Sully 4Q because he's the one that did the Holding Court.
I think that shit is hard.
Yeah, he did the Holding Court theme song. He doesn't.
I go through so much footage listening to it.
Hey, Sully 4Q doesn't get enough credit because he quietly does his thing. He has a growing, you know what I'm saying, fan base. He does numbers. So shout out to him.
Yeah, no, I think I don't know, man, because it's hard because if I'm being really honest, I don't really feel like we had hood success. We the thing I can give H Wood credit, he's the consummate hustler, dude. He's the hustler's hustler. We was out the trunk. We moved in ways which I would say X-Rated was locked.
Yeah.
Sibo probably had a good movement. I wasn't part of his camp.
Sibo had a lovely movement.
But what I'm saying on moving around, H Wood and like this camp that I was part of, we actually touched cities. H Wood had this like, we're going to Tacoma, we're going to Spokane, we're going to Portland, we're going to Phoenix, we're going to, his dad was in Vegas, we're going to Vegas. We would set up shop and be out the trunk like on some Too Short. We were like the last era of that out the trunk shit before Napster and digital. Like when we was putting out shit, we was still in the movement in the moment, but we was in people's face out the trunk in every hood. I mean, that's the thing H would always say. He's like, you different Caucasian, like, because you be the only white boy with us, and we be in the hood in every city, like, cause we came to LA, like I came to LA before I lived here, but we be in the hood, we be in Slauson Swap Meet, you know what I mean? H would go down there because that's where he gets his t-shirts to print up and shit. And it's like, we're going to Slauson, but I will say, we didn't succeed though. Like my group, we succeeded out the trunk and were able to parlay it into other things. Right. Some of the dudes was back in the dope game with the little money they made. H was a really smart business dude, so he parlayed it just into other business ventures. I tried to invest in other people's shit. When we talk about a movement, though, it's hard for me to give advice because we weren't on the winning side. Our movement was set up by people that wasn't us. Yeah, but we was winning because of them.
No,
because Lynch was winning. But we wasn't the reason.
But I got you. Yeah, and I feel
so it's hard for me to ever when people are like, "Well, how was y'all doing?" I'm like, "I don't know," because we didn't do it. Yeah, because Lynch. All credit to Lynch, Rated, Bo, and all of them. They did it. You know what I mean?
But I mean, and you got to understand, my city is on the receiving side of them doing it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Yeah. So
we benefited because y'all listen to our shit too.
That's what I'm saying.
We sold a lot of shit.
Y'all sold a lot of shit to us.
Just because we were from Sac.
Some of y'all rappers came down and moved to our city. Yeah, and it's rappers.
Looney moved out there.
Looney moved out there. This is what I'm saying. It was. Listen, Lavish D said it right. And this is what I be trying to tell KC. Again, it's not a bad thing.
Mozzy said he got his first bag in KC.
He said that, and Lavish D said this out his mouth. He said, yeah, man. He said, I would throw a show in Sac or around Sac and 10 people show up. Yeah. He said, man, I go to Kansas City, Missouri and pack that bitch out.
Yeah. So but maybe KC just got beautiful rap fans, man. I don't know.
I mean, we do.
You just guys just appreciate the music.
But the other side of that too is we don't give each other that support. That's
clearly Sacramento doesn't either, though.
That's what I'm. But yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah, because just heard Lav say.
No, Lav said that. That was just his experience. We know Sacramento love X-Rated and Brother Lynch and Sebo.
They do.
You see what I'm saying?
I think they love Mozzy and Lav.
Yes,
I mean,
and
there's politics to that, where it's
outside of the politics. I'm saying just the fans.
Yeah,
just the fans.
But I don't know though, because like I don't remember. So Mac Dre had his own, aside from Bay and Sac, he had his own movement.
Yeah, he did.
And he would pack shit out. But I don't remember being young, and I'll go to all the shows. I don't remember shit getting packed out for the locals. Mac Dre, but he wasn't really Sac. He's Vallejo. He just happened to live in Sac for a moment. But I don't remember going to shows for Sac dudes. Yeah. Again, Raid is locked up.
Yeah.
Bo would consistently not be in Sacramento, probably for his own safety of not personal safety, because Bo don't move like he's scared of anything.
Fuck no. I seen Bo in the hood in a 4-block shooting dice.
Bo came to H was
real talk.
Bo came to H was 1 deep. No, but with the bulletproof vest, with the pocket in the front, with the strap in the pocket. Bo don't move. But I don't say safety. I say safety on some like I don't want to get struck out.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Like, because I think he had his Seattle movement. For sure. And credit to him, because California politics is fucked up when it comes to prison shit.
Man, hey, Bo was having cases in Seattle, in Sac, in Atlanta.
I don't know Bo's cases.
Yeah, Bo was on.
But when I say personal safety, let's please not get it misconstrued. No, I don't think Bo ever cared about street shit.
Nah.
Because he pulled up on us. And Bo was cool as fuck when he came to H was, but he pulled on. He don't need nobody with him. 1 deep.
Yeah.
I'm 1 deep.
Yeah. You know Bo get love in KC, and I did a song with Bo back in the day.
I mean, he a real street. Look, I just told you my whole backstory.
Yeah.
Bo different.
Bo he get, but people, real cats can feel that. It's the same thing.
Totally.
It's one thing even with No Limit. With one thing that is crazy, because even with P, like we go places where a lot of people of his stature, they won't go. You know, because we know how to maneuver. Yeah. And then too, when you come with respect and love, you receive that. And you at the same time, you understand where you at and you know how to move. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So and that's how you really can distinguish who real and who ain't, because some of these cats be scared to death. They really can't move like that unless they have a bunch of police and shit like that.
That's kind of the sad part too, though, man. I don't know, man. I'm such a fan of hip hop and rap. And it became the genre of music that I really, I really am into it. I cherish it. It is sad though, because I'm really like you. I'm big on my city. People ask me all the time, "What's your favorite? Who's your
Yeah.
top 5? Who's your top 10?" The crazy part is my shit still be local. Like
Yeah.
even as a older late 30s, you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
still be listening to the grimy shit. Like
Yeah.
sometimes the mainstream just don't catch my ear the same. But maybe it's you know how people be like, I'm classically trained.
Yeah.
I'm trained on the gangster shit. Like
Nah, that's real.
I gravitate.
Me too.
Like Mo 3, I do say Mo
Yeah.
Mo 3 was one of the dudes I liked, but he was spitting that gang. He had the melody, kind
Yeah.
of borrowing from. I don't want to say borrowing to disrespect him, but taking from that Kevin Gates and
Yeah, for sure.
and those styles.
yeah.
But it was just grimy, and I was like, oh, I fuck with it. You know what I mean? Like I
But
like that shit.
that's what I be telling a lot of the cats my age, bro. Because we have kind of this age thing, the old school versus new school.
Yeah.
I can see how it can happen, but I'll be honest with you, bro. If I like a lot of the new shit, you
I
know
do
what
too.
I'm saying? If you listen to it, if you just get over yourself and get over the whole all these young niggas and woo, if you get over that and you just hear the music,
Yeah.
they talking the same shit.
Totally.
It's just packaged different. It's delivered a little bit different. You know what I mean? But
I like it too.
I like it a lot. Like
I would say during our era, there's plenty of rappers I didn't like.
Right.
I would say as it pertains to the new school, there's plenty of people I don't like. That
sure.
doesn't mean I don't like it though.
Exactly.
Because there's a lot of people that I think are spitting
Yeah.
right now and saying shit.
Yeah.
And it's not the melody I grew up on.
Right.
Or whatever else. But honestly, think about it. I said at the beginning of this interview, I didn't grow up on Big Daddy Kane.
Yeah.
And I'm not of the right age group. I was born in 81.
Right.
I was 10 in 91.
Right.
So like
Right.
there's a lot of shit that was
Yeah.
happening from 81 to 91.
You just wasn't.
It
Yeah.
just was. I was listening to Journey.
Yeah.
Or whatever
No,
moms.
real talk.
Whatever moms was putting
Real
on.
talk.
You know what I mean? So I just didn't have an ear for it. So it's not that those dudes would probably look at what Brother Lynch was and be like, the fuck is that shit?
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because they over there doing.
That's what I tell people all the
Yeah.
time. Like it's a revolving door, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because just like if you think about like I swore by Ice-T and Ghetto Boys NWA, but the people before me that was on Sugar Hill Gang and Curtis Blow, they heard that like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what people be doing now to the new school.
Yeah.
It ain't fair.
Nah,
It ain't
nah,
fair.
I think it's some hating shit, really,
I do
because
too.
a lot of the older cats, and I'm talking about cat, I wouldn't consider myself an older cat, but as it pertains to music, I
Yeah.
would be considered older cat. But
For sure.
they be hating, man.
Yeah.
They oh man, we keep it, and I'm like, dog.
Here's what I say though. I think the respect got to cut both ways because
Absolutely.
one thing that I
Absolutely.
don't do, I actually have gone back. When I was young, not today,
Mm-hmm.
but when I was younger, I went back and listened to Rakim and
Mm-hmm.
listened to some of the shit that was, and I was like, okay, I get it. You know what I mean? I didn't hate on it.
Right.
I do feel like the new school
Some
people,
of them do, yeah.
there's an ego to it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, for sure.
Where they hear the banter of like fuck the new school shit,
Yeah.
so they're like fuck them too. I understand that mentality. I think there has to be a respect that cuts both ways.
You're
I
absolutely
think the
right.
OGs
Yeah.
need to be like, let me not hate so much on the new
Let
school
them
shit.
live. Yeah.
Let them live. Let them have their moment.
Yeah.
I think the new school people need to also pay homage to like where
Absolutely.
it came from.
But then I'll say this, I agree 100%. But then too, when you look at people like say Roddy Ricch or even a young boy, you got to think like sometime a older cat will look at them and they'll look at who they look at. They'll be like, oh shit, Young Thug is our OG.
Yeah.
But you got to understand, these guys was born after Tupac was dead.
Man.
No more than me growing up and my parents or someone older than me saying, oh, you don't know about Otis Redding?
Nah,
I'm like,
bro.
he was dead before I was born.
It's
I have
2021. Your kid?
Yeah,
Your kid's turning 21.
yeah.
I was out of high school. I'm on the street.
That's what I'm saying.
Like I knew you
Yeah,
before he was
yeah.
born.
So I'm
But
saying.
he is the new school. He's
That's
21.
what I'm saying.
You know
So
what I mean?
sometime I think OGs hear that as disrespect. Now, some of the youngsters violate in disrespect,
Yeah.
but sometimes they be like, what?
Yeah.
How young? You gonna say Young Thug is your OG and not Tupac and Biggie? It's like, dude, I was born 6 years after they was dead.
Yeah.
This is what I grew up listening
Yeah.
to. So I think sometimes,
Totally.
you know what I mean? Now,
I've heard some of the disrespect towards
Mm-hmm.
Biggie and all that, and Pac,
yeah,
or any of them
Yeah.
really, and I hear it, And I try to come from a place of understanding, like, what?
Yeah,
like,
me
why are
too.
they saying that?
Right.
And I think what you're hitting on is
It's
exactly
the
that.
disconnect. Yeah, it's just the
Because they didn't grow up on it.
They didn't grow.
It has no influence on their music.
They was born. Yeah, they don't even know about it.
There's
like,
influence in the culture that it pertains
Right,
to,
right.
but to them specifically, they're
Right.
like, they didn't even look at how it influenced the culture.
Yeah.
And the person that they look up to is someone totally different.
And it's almost like, for instance, if I look to Ice-T, and Eazy E, right? But you got to think, Ice-T looked to somebody.
Yeah.
He looked to PSK. That's what influenced his 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
I have no idea who the fuck that is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've never heard the record.
Man.
You see what I'm saying? So that's like somebody, now coming at me saying,
I'll say some super disrespectful shit.
what?
Growing up, just growing up when I grew up.
Yeah.
You and I are close enough that you might feel this.
Yeah.
I hated East Coast music. I'm gonna say so. That's some salacious shit to say.
No,
I did not.
No.
I didn't understand. Dude, Wu-Tang, Nas,
Hey,
Biggie,
I'm with
Jay.
you.
You could
I'm with
clip
you,
this
bro.
out. You could take it out of context. I respect all of them for what
Yes.
they did.
Yes.
And what they contributed to the game.
For sure.
We weren't listening to it.
Dog,
In my
me
circle,
neither.
I'm sure
neither.
California, they were selling tons of records.
Me neither.
But it was there was like that beef. And I know it was perpetrated by the media and everything else, but in my circle, it was like, we don't listen to it.
I'm gonna tell you what it was. I agree. I didn't either.
We don't listen.
Listen, the only I've
So
said
there's
this
so much I don't know.
I've said this for so many years. I agree with you. The only East Coast people that I ever really listened to or dug was LL, Beanie Siegel, and DMX.
Beanie Siegel was dope.
Other than that, I'll be honest with you. I'm with you, bro. I tried. Because even early on when like EPMD and Stetsasonic and all those I couldn't get into it. You know what I mean? But again, like I said, for whatever reason, when I heard Too Short and I heard Ghetto Boys and I heard Ice-T, I gravitated. I could understand
You went that way.
Yeah, but all that hip hop and rhymes and beats and mad science and all, I just didn't get with that shit. I didn't connect with it, bro.
I'll tell you, it's kind of like a funny thing over the course of the last 10 years, and not so much today, but like I listen to a song and be like, oh, this is dope. And they'd be like, that's off the Illmatic album. But I'm like, I never owned it.
Man.
So let me give credit where credit's due.
Yeah.
I have since heard songs from albums that I never purchased because of whatever bullshit I had bought into.
Right.
And I was like, oh, that was dope. And then people be like, that shit is 20 years old. And I'm like, man, I don't know.
I've never been a Biggie fan. I respect Biggie. But the only song that
let's clear it up. It's all love and respect.
It's all love and respect.
It's just where we grew up.
Yeah, it's just what I listen to. I can only rap one Biggie song. It's the one he did with Bone.
That shit was hard though. That shit was hard though.
I can't recite one Jay-Z song, not one.
I never got on Jay.
Nas, Got Yourself a Gun, and One Mic.
One Mic was hard.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Other than that, bro, I don't know nothing about really. I know it, but I don't patronize it. I'm not I don't follow it like that.
I never got on. It was just. Maybe it was just the era. Maybe it was. Man, I was listening to Spice and Pac, and they had beef.
Yeah,
they were verbally saying their music, and then you just rocking with who you rock with. They be like, "Well, East Coast ain't got no love for Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre." And I'm like, "Yeah, fuck that."
And see, I'm in the Midwest.
I'm young and impressionable, so I'm like, "Fuck that."
I'm in the Midwest,
y'all.
So there was no, I didn't have either way. It didn't matter. I didn't have a dog in the fight, but just I'm going off of no politics, no nothing. This is strictly music. This is no type of bias or anything. It was just the sound. Because you got to think, in the East Coast, bruh, initially, they didn't even really rap to music. They rapped to break beats, and it was hip hop. Yeah. So I don't know. I just couldn't connect with that, especially coming from the Midwest, because the music we're listening to is more melodic. That's how L.A. crept in there, because Dre was using melodies. He was using real music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where the East Coast, it was more the hip hop, and I just couldn't get into that. But
even though I was, because of the cousins, TJ and uncles and everything else, I was listening to more NorCal shit.
Mm-hmm.
LA had that melody. Snoop, that Doggy Style, when it came out, Doggy Style, it had such Dre is a masterpiece. And I would even say Warren G. Mm-hmm. I would even say when Warren G dropped his solo on Def Jam.
Yeah, that first one was dope.
It's dope. I might have had
dope.
that on tape and just played that. Just,
G-Funk.
just played it.
It was
nonstop.
G-Funk.
Yeah, G-Funk.
Yeah, it was the music, man. That's what was the
G-Funk.
and you see that's why Puffy caught on where he brought Biggie and they did the Juicy thing.
Yeah.
Because he seen that, oh shit, we need some real music behind this shit, not just some hip hop shit.
It was working.
Yeah, but man, we gonna have to do this again, bruh. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
just me and you. You feel me?
There's a lot that we didn't touch your No Limit days.
We gonna get to that.
Yeah, we
you know
didn't.
what I'm saying?
We didn't even touch really us. All the shit we've done collectively over the last 20 years.
Yeah, we gonna get to that. That just makes the people gonna want to see that. They want to know more about us. That's why we did this because the fans.
They don't want to know much about me. I barely talk in these things.
Shit, yeah, they do. They want to know more about you because you don't talk. They like, what's up with Producer Ken? Why he just over there looking like EFN, just not saying shit with the,
Hey,
but
man.
they don't know you be over there on porn sites and shit, low key.
I'm over here
Tinder and shit.
I'm here to. Hey, you in my house right now. I'm here to make you look good, brother.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So
Part of the partnership.
yeah, man, we gonna bring it back, bro. We gonna have to do this again because it's so much that we didn't touch on, and I know people are curious because I get the messages and people be wanting to know. So listen, so I want to give a shout out to KC. You know what I'm saying? To my hometown, Kansas City, Missouri. Y'all keep doing what y'all doing. Everybody down there, the Lindells, the Desmond Cartels, the Royce J's, the Solely for Q's, the Young Cats, Brandocious, Young Boss, even Lil Fo Baby, Lil Dude, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All them cats down there, man. Y'all keep doing. I just want us to have a movement. It's all, I'm always here. I'm big bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm unk to everybody, so whatever I can do. But we gonna get there, though. We gonna get there.
I mean, I ain't gotta wish that on Sack because Sack is doing it right now.
Yeah.
Sack is doing it right now.
Yeah.
My best friend and my homie sadly passed away, and that was the one that I wanted to see him make it. H Wood, he a OG. He moved on to other businesses and other shit. So none of my homies I'm concerned with. So now I just be having a sense of pride, watching Sacramento have another movement.
For sure.
Right now they killing it. Mozzy killing it.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know that dude. I got fans that talk to me about him. I got friends that know his circle and shit. But I don't know him. But I'm so proud just to see. I mean, I think he might be Rated and Lynch. And please don't knock me for saying this. He might be one of the biggest success stories out of Sac. I don't think without Rated, Bo, and Lynch,
they laid the foundation.
Yeah,
absolutely.
They have these illustrious careers, and I know there's politics behind it that I'm not involved in, so I don't want to speak on any of that.
Right.
But what Mozzy is just doing in the culture is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, he got albums with Rick Ross's people and Gunplay and all them.
Yeah, Mozzy has done really well.
Dave East and him do shit together. He's got this whole new album with YG that he just did.
Yeah.
He's touching. He's touching regions of the world that I've never really seen a Sac artist touch. I know Bo went out and did this Cashville thing with Young Buck.
Young Buck, yeah.
Rated might have been the greatest rapper ever to. He might still be one of the.
Yeah.
Let me not say
shout out to Rated because Rated's still active.
Yeah,
shout out. That's my brother.
No.
Yeah.
And I love X-Rated. He, sadly, he had his circumstance.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you look at all of that. Could Mac Dre have been bigger if he wasn't in prison when he? And that's the same way I feel about Rated. But lyrically, one of the illest to ever do it.
For sure.
He's a lyrical genius. But Mozzy's just doing stuff I've never seen.
Yeah.
Where it's out of Sac. I've never seen it out of Sac.
And especially coming from his, environment and man, shout out, hats off to that dude.
Man, Oak Park is the hood.
And even people don't understand the internal changes you have to make too. The personal changes you have to make to be able to put yourself in a position to elevate like that. See, that's a lot too. You know what I mean? So hats off to that dude.
I'm just a loyal. Look, man. When you come from your city, you gave KC a shout out. I love Sacramento, dude.
Yeah.
You see it on my license plate, the 916 King. It's tatted on me. I come from the town. I always rep for people from the town, whether I know them or not.
For sure.
The sports teams. So I sit back right now like, ooh, Sacramento winning. And then I put the music on and I enjoy it, man.
Yeah.
So shout out to Sacramento and everybody out there doing their thing, man.
For sure, bro. So we're going to have to do this again, bro. So, man, we appreciate y'all tuning in to the Holding Court podcast with your boy Big Court and
Producer Ken, baby.
Producer Ken, man. So we're going to tap in with y'all next time. Y'all leave a comment. Then what I want y'all to do, y'all listening to this, y'all watching it, I want you to go pull up, go Google Kansas City rappers. tap in with all of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Give us
sir.
some support. Give us even leave a comment. If you watching this on YouTube, leave a comment. Let me know what KC artist you rocking with. Leave it down there. Give them a shout out on that.
Yes, sir.
Yep, for sure.
All good.
All right. Peace. Yep.